Hi pretty people, welcome back to my channel. I am filming this intro outside because it is a beautiful day. It's currently March 17th, yes, a whole month after the first Ditty December video came out, but yo, life has just been lifing. This is not my full-time job. This is merely a hobby, so I'm trying my best. I wanted to go ahead and intro this video before we get into it because this is a good one. It really is. But there's a lot of context I feel like is really important that I need to share that will kind of explain why I was over it at many points throughout this video. We had planned to do this walk with lions at the Fathala Wildlife Reserve in Senegal. Y'all have probably seen videos of people walking behind lions on social media in Africa, and I was probably at Fathala. You can only do this in Africa. I don't know where else people would allow you to walk behind lions, but they've actually got a pretty seamless process for how this happens. So, you know, it's scary, but live a little, right? This trip to Fathala was a lot, to say the least. There were a lot of imprévus, a lot of unexpected things that came up. Let me just kind of recap what had happened, like all that went into us even being able to walk with these lions. And I have some notes. I'm going to be kind of looking up a little bit, but it's only because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Mr. and I had planned to travel from Gambia to Senegal because we were staying in Gambia during this time to do the lion walk, which is in Senegal. Despite this excursion being in Senegal, it was actually closer to where we were staying in Gambia compared to traveling all the way from Dakar to the wildlife reserve. It's really close to the Senegal-Gambia border. So we had figured, okay, when we're in Gambia, we should plan a day trip to Fathala. Emphasis on the word day trip, because it ended up not being a day trip. When we were planning this trip, I had mapped it in Google Maps, which honestly was the first mistake, because why am I trusting Google Maps in a developing country? But according to Google Maps, getting from where we were in Gambia to Fathala would take about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like I said earlier, in reality, this trip ended up taking 24 hours. The short story version is we left later than we should have because we figured that based on what Google Maps had told us, getting to Fathala from Gambia would be like a jump, hop, skip away. I think that's the expression. I don't know. In order to get from where we were in Gambia to Senegal, we had to drive to the capital, which is Banjul. From Banjul, get back on the ferry, which is like the bane of my existence because it's just so slow and so inefficient. Oh my god. When we crossed the ferry, we would end up in Amdalai, and then from Amdalai we'd have to drive to Barra, where the actual border is. So all of this just to leave Gambia. Crazy, right? Fortunately, we were able to hitch a ride with my aunt to this bus station, kind of, not really. It's just like a side of the road where you can catch public transportation to Banjul. And then from there, we took a shared taxi to Banjul. We got in line to purchase our ferry tickets, and we ended up waiting an hour for the ferry to come. There are two ferries that run in Gambia. There's the Kanilai and there's the Kunta Kinte. The Kunta Kinte is the newer one. The Kanilai is the older one. Just our luck, we were waiting on the Kanilai, which took forever. So we waited for an hour just for the ferry to arrive. Then it was a whole nother hour to get to the other side of Gambia, to Amdalai. Basically, it's a very chaotic place. There is this makeshift garage, quote unquote garage, where taxis, bus drivers, cars, just basically park, waiting for clients to get off of the ferry so they can take them to their destinations. This garage has no entryway, no exit way. Cars are literally packed like sardines waiting for clients. And then when you get off of the ferry, people come up to you talking about taxi, taxi, taxi. So it's okay, well, I need a taxi. So we got in one guy's car, but he was all the way in the back. And basically, because there's no formal entryway or exit way, we had to wait for every other car in front of us to fill up before we could move. So we were sitting there for maybe 20-30 minutes. At this point, I'm just over it because just the inefficiency of it all was really just killing me. But eventually we were able to get out of Amdalai and then drive to Barra. I don't know how long that took, maybe let's say 20 minutes just to get to Barra, and that is the actual border. So we had to go through customs, show passports, etc. Then from Barra we had to go to Toubacouta, which is actually past Fathala. But the reason we ended up going to Toubacouta is because Mr. has a friend who lives in Toubacouta, who works in the tourism industry. So he was gonna kind of be the one to facilitate our going to Fathala that day. We ended up getting a taxi from Barra past Fathala to Toubacouta. And then by the time, honestly, at this point, we had realized that we had missed all the lion walks for the day. What I didn't know 24 hours prior to planning this trip was that lion walks happen from a specific, like, during a specific time frame, and we had missed that time frame by hours. So it's like, if we had known this all along, we would have left earlier, because we left really late thinking that this whole trip would only take 2 hours, and it ended up taking like 6. So we ended up going to Toubacouta and actually spending the night there. And when I tell y'all, I was not prepared for this. I did not have a bonnet, didn't have my skincare, didn't, like, it was just, I was literally sleeping in the same clothes. Like, when I tell you we were really roughing it, looking back in hindsight, it was like really fun and such an adventure. But in the moment, and y'all will see through the clips, I was so over it, because there were just so many things that came up that I should have expected, honestly. I should have planned for, because it's Africa. Like, it's Africa. Expect the unexpected, and over budget how much time you're gonna need to get anywhere. But yeah, hindsight is 2020. Lessons learned. That is essentially like the synopsis of everything that happened behind the scenes for us to even be able to go and walk with these lions. I don't regret how things turned out, because we had a really great time in Toubacouta that you will see, and ultimately we were able to walk with them lions, so that was cool. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Please comment down below and let me know what you think. I had a great time editing this, because it was just like, it was really nice to be able to go back to that point. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Let me roll the clip. Back on the ferry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to Barra.
Mantap tuh, ada ikan yang pilihan.
Alhamdulillah, Allah kulihat. Alhamdulillah, Allah kulihat.
Nyari kayak mau menang, soal kan level level. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. See.
Alhamdulillah, Allah kulihat. Alhamdulillah, Allah kulihat. Alhamdulillah, Allah kulihat. What a day.
Kamu nak ni? Takut tu exam lagi gini. Exam. Kersa. Oh yeah. Bonati. J'ai tortue. What do you have to say? Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire?
Bruh, I just watched tortoise have sex. I'm shocked.
Wow. This is nice.
yow jën yi dana leen mën a téye jën yi ñooy dox fii ñii lay romb.
waaw dañuy dem seen yoon.
jën yi moom.
Yan sa yan.
Nous sommes très fiers et heureux de vous rencontrer ici pour partager une grosse partie de notre culture avec vous. Nous allons vous montrer un fabuleux spectacle parce que le Sénégal regorge d'immenses potentialités culturelles qui datent des millénaires, suivies de génération en génération.
the way crocodiles just be so immobile and still, like they look fake.
Sekarang pas mengetek seluruh. Sige now. Tegang dang.
You probably can't even feel it. Like, what is wrong with you?
Thank you.
Try and get, because I'm going to be using this message, like, try and get me like 4 or 5 second videos as well as pictures.
Are you starting?
No, not a picture.
Walk behind the bonnet.
When I go back.
Okay.
Lion nyam nyam.
Wow.
We have the female called Sissy. Yeah. Oh, come approach. Come closer.
And say what?
Jadi kalian kena sih. New York. Ang nasa sa mo sa to.
There's 10 pounds to it. Bye, I'm the lie.
Des aventuriers.
10.